They've had the start of the day for Louisiana State has been honestly really good. But that being said, we know this UNT squad is a different beast, and it's playoff time, and I think they're going to show us what that looks like here.
We'll see how UNT start things off. I think we're going to see a very similar Tigers team here as T-Bates trying to find his way out. Braun B, he had a phenomenal series last time. Clutch goals from him and clutch challenges as well to keep the attack on for LSU. UNT, though, threatening with their first shot. It's turned away by Low-Tech.
Now looking at LSU. Again, just trying to pick up that momentum from the last year's. T-Bates finds the arc. What a way to open things up for Louisiana State.
Oh, absolutely. T-Bates uses his jump to get down to the ball faster, whips around, and puts it on target. UNT were not ready for that shot from T-Bates. They didn't think he could do it, and T-Bates shows them how. And the first less than a minute here into the first game, and LSU on the board first.
The Tigers set the pace, and now UNT, they're going to have to catch up. But if there's anyone who can, it's Too Fast and crew. Right now they're playing a little bit of defense. Braun B up, looking for the shot. D-Bank swats that away. Low-Tech tries to put it back down. No! It's an own goal from Too Fast, and Low-Tech will pick up the goal.
I knew it was coming because I was on Too Fast's camera here. And that ball definitely got away from him. I think he thought it was going to come out, and it comes straight down behind him, and unfortunately puts it in the wrong net. And Low-Tech gets credit for it. 2-0 lead now for LSU.
If there's any time to do it, it's game one. Get it all out your system.
Exactly.
You know, it's still a long series to go. Best of 7 here in the Western Conference semifinals, as LSU has gotten off to a great start. Let's see what more they can do with it. Braun B with the carry. Can he find a double? It goes straight down. T-Bates follow up off the bar, and it will fall out. A close chance for LSU, and they try to keep the pressure here. Another chance there, a double commit. And this will give UNT some space, and now they can finally move out and set up some offense.
Oh, great play for Lucia. Too Fast almost tried to get back to it there. D-Bank, would have had Too Fast if he didn't come across. And for UNT, I think the slow start is to be expected, especially with how hot LSU was near the end of that series. Obviously, 4 games in a row is nothing to scoff at. And a big clear from Braun B. It's slowed down by Lucia, and D-Bank there to show it out for UNT.
So now, chance there. Good touch from Low-Tech, and you can start to see the follow-up here come through. Braun B will try to play that down. And LSU looking to keep that offensive pressure. Too Fast, though, will knock things away. But it seems as though UNT are struggling here just a bit. Corelli, they haven't been able to really break out and set up too much offense. Only have a couple of shots to their name, while LSU has been the team to set the pace for game one so far.
Yeah, and I think LSU, a lot of option coverage on their side, but maybe not all options, as D-Bank is going to find the first goal from UNT, and it's the first time that UNT's got the ball in a dangerous spot inside the box, and a good shot from D-Bank down and away from the defense as he puts it home and cuts the lead in half.
Hitting in that bottom corner slot, so important, as that was the only slot that UNT kind of had available from that angle. Now, chance to turn things around. That was a great goal, too, halfway through game number 1. This is exactly what North Texas needs to kind of get back into things. As D-Bank looks to move downfield, maybe a chance here for them to set up offense, but they got to control things in the midfield. That's a big clear for Braun B, as LSU tried to turn things around here, but the possession has been moving back and forth. A good air dribble from D-Bank, but it gives UNT some space to try to work here.
It's almost reminiscent of D-Bank many, many seasons ago, where he had always seemed to have some magic behind the ball every time. And that's a great pass again from D-Bank. The shot from Lucio was well hit. Low-Tech just enough behind it. Now Low-Tech, that one's going to go wide. D-Bank's got to get there. He does. And UNT lived to see another day as D-Bank gets by one, but not the other.
Too Fast, pushing that mid-pass, and Lucio's shot's just off. Looking for another chance, trying to wrap around it as T-Bates will play the 50 in the corner, buying his team some time to get set up on defense. D-Bank looking for that top corner. Ceiling shot, can't find it.
Oh, it's open.
Almost another chance here You can look at UNT moving around the LSU half, trying to charge through. Meanwhile, the Tigers struggling to get a clear out.
And I think UNT are actually in a really good spot. They didn't let LSU build a massive lead here, and they are outpacing the Tigers at the moment. A rare time for the Tigers to move downfield, but immediately thrown back by D-Bank.
Oh, what a momentum shift. We might see something big here if North Texas can get something here in the final 30 seconds. They've been hammering. There's the pass. Too fast. Just missed the mark there. And it's going to be T-Bates with the carry, and now it's going to be a numbers game. But instead of cards, you're looking at the clock here. Only so many more drives here for University of North Texas to get downfield and set up a goal-scoring opportunity.
And they might only get one more. Low-Tech's done well to get downfield. T-Bates wants to get it away, but Lucia's touch gets downfield, and here it is for UNT. It comes out to D-Bank as T-Bates shuts it down. The Tigers going to hold on here. There's going to be one more bounce. Too fast looking for options. T-Bates up. So was Low-Tech, though. It's just Braun B back as T-Bates was trying to get back as well. It does hit the ground. And LSU do squeak by in game one.
That's a good word there, using squeak by, because I feel like that's a perfectly sums up game one. LSU were fairly dominant in the first half. It's quite literally when the 2:30 mark hit in the game where you saw UNT get that offensive pressure and score. Then afterwards, North Texas went from 2 shots to 8 as they continue to put on pressure. And LSU struggled here on offense. Do you think going into game 2, Corelli, that we're going to see a very different North Texas at the start?
Yeah, and I think the biggest issue for LSU is the number one enemy of UNT right now is themselves. If you think back to all the passing plays that they have, and they were just so close to either finding the man or when they did, those shots were just off target. UNT are going to find a lot more of those here in this game throughout the entirety of game 2. It's going to be on LSU to try and stop and slow things down to make sure that those passing lanes aren't open for UNT to expose.
UNT did seem to show some signs of that comfortability when they were on the LSU half. I mean, the offensive pressure that they were working with just kind of cutting through the Tigers here. And I think for them, the Tigers, that kind of defense and then turning things around to a good counterattack on offense could get them some more numbers on the board. But again, I feel like the start of this game, similar to game number 1, is going to be the big point to look at. That's where LSU made their mark early, and then they continue to hold for the remainder of the game. UNT are going to have to come out here and strike fast and hard. This one already underway, and you can see a little bit of pressure from LSU in the opener. T-Bates gonna leave that for Braun B. T-Bates is in a really awkward spot, and he can play that one better, but still, infield pass play chance, and D-Bank will be able to get a touch out. Oh, that's a big whiff, but too fast, able to clean it up. You can see LSU getting a little jumpy when they see some opportunities there. The T-Bates with a whiff off the touch off the back wall. Could have been deadly. Definitely seeing signs from both of these teams. A little bit of shakiness in the first minute.
Yeah, for LSU, they need to keep that same intensity and tenacity on the offensive side of things as 2 players run into each other on the UNT side. LSU are finding that, though, at the moment, at least the pressure. D-Bank on the ball. Got T-Bates to back off, but didn't see Braun B. Here's Low-Tech, has some space, but not the boost. And he's looking for options and just throws the lightest touch towards the defense there. And a good pinch from Too Fast to get UNT out.
Low-Tech did have a prime opportunity, but that boost that he was lacking did come back to haunt him. Meanwhile, UNT, they're really finding, these infield plays. They're not really using them in the air. A lot of it's been on the ground, and they've been able to move upfield. You see, once they get set up, then, okay, this one's going to be a pass to D-Bank. D-Bank's been pretty set, but LSU has been able to stop that. I think we're going to see UNT kind of forced to move through the air here, as right now those ground passes are being cut off.
They are, but UNT are getting them set up quite a bit. That last one was just a bit late on the pass rather than LSU really getting in the way of it. And for UNT, a lot of options. Something that I was trying to talk about in the last game while LSU were doing so well. That's going to be an open net for LSU. Talk about option coverage. Well, there's no one in net for UNT.
Yeah, UNT really went all in on that play. And it's very concerning, too, because you have to hope that Too Fast plays that challenge perfectly. And Lucio was betting on it. And you can see, from that angle, not really the best to work with. So maybe they get one back here, and they do. Lucio quick to recover the score.
Kind of funny to watch. Lucia does a lot of great work here. Bromby, that's not the touch, but then Lucia comes through and bumps Bromby and T-Bates together, sends them into space, and then has an open net to get around to it, and gets UNT back into it with the equalizer.
He said, toodaloo. North Texas now able to tie things up here. And so far, tied a ball game. Too Fast putting on a little bit of pressure. Lucio shot. That gets through the defense. North Texas are going to take the lead.
Great shot from Lucia, but look at Too Fast. Puts T-Bates in such a difficult spot. He had to play it over his back wall, or his crossbar, rather. And Lucia with a great shot to the left side. He read that defense, saw T-Bates go deep into the net, knew he could sneak it by. It's tough to make that save from that angle. And UNT up by 1.
Game 2 reaching the halfway point. And now we see North Texas. They got LSU playing on the back end here. LSU was already used to playing defense, but now they need to force something on offense. It's up to North Texas, though, to make sure they maintain those rotations. We've seen them get a little antsy and send too many people too far forward, and it's bit them in the butt. Oh, this could be a chance. Lucio shot! That gets through again! Lucio with the hat trick!
Well, you talk about pickups for a team. LSU, they've had Bromby. He's been great for him, but Lucia might even be better for UNT. And at the moment, he is certainly performing. 3 goals, a hat trick for him here in this game. And it's shot after shot. That's throwing LSU for a loop. And UNT are happy to see it, as their newest player on the squad performing on the biggest stage in CRL.
Texas is hot, but Lucio has the hot hand, making a good stop there on defense. As Bromby put a shot, Too Fast breaks through. This could be another goal. Pinch down in front. D-Bank will sink it in. North Texas are rolling through LSU.
Look at this play from Too Fast. Beats the first man, then pinches it across to D-Bank and Lucia. D-Bank gets there first. What a play from Too Fast to set everything up.
That was such a good play. Such a good play. The carry over the defense, recognizing there's not a lot of time, and then getting the ground pinch to get that pass right towards D-Bank. Good execution there from North Texas, and we talked about it before we came in. We were expecting a different North Texas team, and boy, have they delivered. It's going to be a 5th goal for them, and D-Bank can pick up his 2nd of the game.
The Mean Green are rolling. 5-1 is the scoreline, and they look good doing it. LSU have just not had their act together here against UNT. A 4-goal deficit, and you still got just under a minute and a half to play.
Something that should be noted, UNT, the goals scored, the people who have shot are shooting 100% right now. So no one's missing, except Too Fast, but he'll get the assist. He's taken 4 assists this game, and so far for UNT, everything has been working here. A minute remaining, and LSU are going to see if they can come up with something, at least to kind of nullify all this momentum that was built up. D-Bank will pick up a hat trick, no effort at all, and now it's a 6-1 game.
And I think T-Bates, he got bumped into his net off the demo, does get the demo, thought Too Fast was going to get the touch, he doesn't. And that's just enough to fake T-Bates out. UNT now looking like they're going to Brazil LSU at this rate. 6-1 is the scoreline, 45 seconds left.
Now, with this North Texas performance, a lot's got to be going through your mind if you're LSU. But nothing more important than shaking all of this off before getting into the next game. 30 seconds remaining, and I think everyone knows that this is definitely a UNT game. But looking at how they were able to execute here, I think one of the biggest things is one, their ability to rotate, but you gotta also keep an eye out for Too Fast. Those 4 assists came up so clutch over the course of this game. He was able to set up UNT so many times on that offensive end, and LSU seemed to have struggled there. They'll struggle here, one more shot, and that'll be Lucia's first miss of the game. But UNT taking dominance game 2.
It's the passing. It's the passing from UNT. We called it in the first game. After the first game, we said, if UNT get the passing together, they're going to rip apart LSU. And sure enough, they come out very organized, very disciplined on offense, finding each other outside, away from LSU players, back towards the oncoming attacker for the Mean Green. And they were able to find a lot of dangerous shots. And that's why the shooting percentage was so high for their goal scorers here in UNT. Lucy gets one shot there at the end to kind of ruin it, but he was shooting perfect up until that point, and so was D-Bank, and D-Bank still is, and it's because they had such great setup and such great passing on the UNT side. They were able to put away tap-ins at some times to, again, take apart this LSU defense. And again, it's going to be on LSU to change things now because they have to cut off those passing lanes. The Mean Green have just been able to do it over and over again, even in low boost situations where LSU maybe have the upper hand in the boost game, but just aren't aggressive enough to meet the ball or meet the pass.
Game 3 getting started now, and we've seen LSU come out with a strong start in game 1. North Texas dominate game 2, but the series is all tied up here on DFH Stadium. But you can still see some of that confidence kind of transferring over. A couple of challenges. Saw D-Bank on the dribble. And he didn't even play the challenge. He kind of played the ball really low. And it's just going to show that UNT definitely understand what they can produce on offense and the potential they have in this series. But it comes down to execution. First minute of gameplay has gone by here. And there's been a shot from T-Bates early on. Haven't seen too much offense from LSU then, but as the game goes on, North Texas looks to make a push.
Low boost for T-Bates. Does get by one and actually gets by Too Fast as well. Still only a pad, and he's going to get the corner ripped from him as well, and Too Fast does get back. Tough for T-Bates. I think there was a lot more options if he had the boost. Still fighting for it for the Tigers here on the UNT side.
Too Fast has to be careful. T-Bates plays that comfortably, goes straight down to low tech, kind of rushes the touch. Was not contested. Brian B will keep it in. T-Bates, again, just trying to lead the charge here for the Tigers. But UNT are perfectly fine with remaining home for now. That pinch will go downfield, and T-Bates will push it back in. We're starting to see UNT. I feel like this is slowing them down. They had so much offensive momentum in game 2. Seem a little bit quieter so far in the opener here.
Yeah, they have. It's something that we talked about for LSU. They have to smother UNT. They're like a wildfire that spreads onto their offense. You have to slow them down on defense in order to stop that offense. And you're seeing it. UNT struggling now to keep possession as they break out and struggling to even get out from their side. And LSU doing a good job picking up the pace and staying in front of the faces of UNT.
Backboard ball, Too Fast to pick it up. D-Bank looks to play this into the corner. Goes out. Lucia in a tough spot. Does go up, puts a shot on, and T-Bates has to make a save. D-Bank will drop it low, but it's low enough for Low Tech to scoop it up. But my goodness, the turn and then the shot from Lucio, the ability to just shoot that and really make the defense stretch. LSU will have to keep an eye out on him.
Oh, Too Fast, slippery set, tries to get the dunk now. UNT, great pass out to D-Bank, over to Lucio, almost able to find that angle. It would have been an incredible play for UNT. But you're seeing that poise on offense. Here's Too Fast again. Second touch,
double.
Got boost, puts it down, and away. Oh. Too Fast finds the first goal for the Mean Green.
Too Fast with the double. You gotta watch this. Look at the angle he takes on the ball. He gets a slow bounce, and Brian B's just not ready for it. Too Fast. He couldn't score game 2, but he's putting on a show to start us off here in game 3 with that touch.
Big goal for UNT, especially since I think they felt, or they have been feeling, a lot more pressure than they did in the previous game. Now they get the go-ahead goal in exciting fashion and might ignite the offense as Lucio on the back post puts it in again.
You're right, that's all they needed. Now UNT are getting things going. T-Bane struggles to find a clear out, and Lucy is there to intercept, turns it into a goal. North Texas, the green machine is getting going, Corelli.
And now for LSU, what had looked so good for them early on, that aggression, that suppression of UNT has very quickly turned into a nightmare situation where you're down by 2 and a minute and a half left.
Yeah, LSU need an answer here soon. But look at North Texas, how they push up the field. They're not giving them any of those options. Too fast on top of the ball. Doesn't rotate out, says we're going to force another challenge. The rest of the team can just follow up. D-Bane gets a shot and a look, and no one from LSU can get on the ball. It's a 3-goal game.
And LSU severely spread out here. T-Bates away from Braun B. Lotek still coming back from wherever he was, and D-Bank has a free shot on the near post. LSU again falling into the trap they did in the previous game where UNT gets that passing game going, keeps possession in that final third, and slowly works their way, or quickly rather, in some cases, away from the defense.
Minute left, and all it took was a double tap from Too Fast. But meanwhile, a transition play from LSU, and it's bringing some life back into the squad.
Great touch from Braun B. Quickly getting back to that ball to pop it up and over, and D-Bank and everyone else on UNT couldn't get back in time. 55 seconds left now for LSU. Plenty of time, but they got to score. You know, the time is still in the back of their head. They have to put one away, and they certainly can't give up another one as Too Fast and Lucia combined to put UNT back up by 3.
UNT said, we saw that play, let's try it out ourselves. This time it's a flick, though. Too Fast putting on another goal here, going to be his second. As UNT completely respond to LSU. This has got to be tough for the Tigers. It feels like they've kind of found a wall that they just can't push through. And they talk about defense winning games, but this offense from UNT has just been so in LSU's face. Like, it's a struggle for them to just get out of their own half, let alone think about offense with 2 shots on them.
Oh, yeah. And for LSU, I mean, I said it before. It's a nightmare situation. And now with 15 seconds left, you kind of sit here wondering what happened to this game because it started off so well. They might get one more for the road. It will be Braun B to put it away. And they're going to need a couple of kickoff goals if they want to stay in it here in Game 3.
Yeah. Braun B, really good redirect, though. Gets that perfectly arced on the bottom of the Finnick into the top corner. Definitely want to see more of that from LSU as they try for another kickoff play. Lotek wins the kickoff. Tries to put a shot on. That was actually on target.
Great effort.
Lucia struggled to make the save, but the ball will still hit the ground, and UNT taking Game 3.
And they looked good. After that first minute or so, UNT really got going, and you can see it in the shot column. 12 shots now for UNT to the 4 of LSU, and I think the last 2 of the 4 came in the last 30 seconds for LSU. And that's been the difference maker here in Game 3. And UNT, they're looking better and better. I mean, this game started off a bit slow for them, but again, they kind of get those passing lanes opened up. LSU, I think, give some of that opportunity away to the Mean Green, and they certainly have taken advantage. Too Fast coming alive as well. He didn't score in the previous game. Now here, putting 2 away. One exciting individual play. So for UNT, this is a great series so far for them.
It is. I mean, the goal scored for them. They are looking strong. LSU seem to be running low on options here. At least they're having a hard time adapting to UNT and all that offensive pressure. And then we have seen them break down. They haven't been able to output as many shots on the offensive end. But there's still time for them. They're only down 2 games in the series. We load up Utopia Coliseum to get this next game underway here in the series. With LSU, if they ever want to turn around and have a chance of reviving themselves in the series, now is the time to do it.
You certainly don't want to go down to your last game so early, especially when you only have 1 win under your belt. UNT trying to close this one out in convincing fashion. Obviously, they'll still have to win another game after this one if they do, but so far, they're on track to do so. Too fast. His clear isn't that great as Low Tech picks it up. D-Bank there on the goal line to clear it away.
Big start here for both these squads. Very fast coming out the gate. Low Tech will pick that up past one. Has some options here in the midfield. But it'll be Braun B who will try to take control. Ooh, just turned a little too fast and got awkward. Now LSU will try again. And it's very important that they can establish good offensive control early on in this game. We've seen UNT, they only need that starting goal, and then the offense is just a burst of pressure. And LSU, they haven't been able to handle that. So right now, while things are even and both teams are comfortable, this is where you need to strike to throw off this UNT offense.
Oh, Lucy almost got back to it. UNT looking for options here in the midfield. Lucia's on the far side, and he is there. The shot too high, too fast to follow it up. His shot's wide on the other side. And LSU the entire time were just left watching both shots get away from the mean green.
Yeah, and honestly, that's all they needed to do, right? Those were widely off target. So now LSU can thank their stars that the shooting's just a little bit off here. Maybe they can transition.
It's not something you want to depend on, though, if you're the Tigers.
True.
UNT will start to put those shots away. We saw that here in the last few games. Here's that pressure now. T-Bates trying to land on top of it for the Tigers, not able to put anything together.
Here's D-Bank. Bounce off the sidewall. Brian B with the cutoff. Will hand it towards Lucia. Trying to get that on the hood. Good 50, but T-Bates picks that one up. Again, quickly forcing D-Bank in the air. And the Tigers are playing a little bit more defense than they'd like. Game halfway over, and North Texas are trying to force an issue. You see D-Bank going up there for an aggressive challenge. Just again, trying to make LSU feel more uncomfortable while they push on offense. This is the longest we've gone without a goal scored this entire series. And that one will be the one that does it. Braun B will start things off with a goal for LSU.
You mentioned a goal, and LSU deliver. Braun B gets around this one off the ceiling and in. I'm not sure if he was going for that or not, but he'll take it. As he had that oncoming defender from UNT, I'm sure he was very conscious of him trying to beat that person. Still, LSU a welcomed first goal, especially when you consider nobody has a shot here. Even with even with Braun B putting that one away, he still doesn't have a shot.
Yeah, that was an angle. That's an angle too. Wow! Low Tech getting a save by hitting the ball off the bar as it made its way into the goal line.
Came off a couple times, I think, very quickly. A little pinball in the net. And LSU are very happy to have Low Tech, especially in that third man position, that goal line spot. He has put out a phenomenal performance in their previous matchup, and now here again, keeping them in it after going up one goal. Here's Too Fast, though, on the ball. Wants to go up and over Low Tech, not going to happen. As T-Bates, big clear. Here comes Low Tech, ran out of boost to set up Braun B on the pass, and that'll let the mean green get back.
Here we go, D-Bank. Playing that one in front. Everyone was in front of D-Bank, so now they got to struggle here a little bit. Braun B looking for a demo. Meanwhile, Low Tech pressing that forward. T-Bates playing very up front. So when the clear comes out, Braun B puts a shot on and Too Fast, able to make another stop here. Now LSU are trying to get that offense going here with the final minute. Want to keep North Texas on their half. Like you said, smother this team that can get hot in the brink of an eye. They're doing well so far here, but as long as there's time on the clock and it's still a one-goal game, this game is not secure.
UNT might have another chance here. D-Bank and Too Fast, both in the corner. This one's going to get over Lucia. Nobody back. Now Low Tech racing to it. Lucia's got no boost, and that one is forced to be pinched over the UNT side. What a touch from Too Fast to the midfield. T-Bates there. Met by Lucia. Too Fast, quickly up. Oh, what? Drops it down for Lucia. 16 seconds left, and UNT tie it up.
Too Fast here. Look at this challenge. Braun B thinks he has a clear. Too Fast with the dunk. And Lucio, I mean, speeds to that ball to get the equalizer here for North Texas in the final 15 seconds of the game. Wow. They look to continue that press. LSU, that would have been a big game for them. But now they got to work just a little bit harder as it looks like we're heading into overtime. Ball will hit the ground, and yep, there it is. Overtime, game 4.
And you're absolutely right, Daz. This would have been a massive win for LSU in regular time. Obviously, they could still come back and win, but holding on to that lead for so long to only give it away with 16 seconds left, giving a chance now for UNT to steal this game and put you on match point is not a good feeling for the Tigers.
So they got to keep working. Meanwhile, North Texas is working on the offense, but that's a good touch. Double demo here. Maybe Low Tech can get something going. Too Fast in net.
What an
that's
angle.
A shot and Too Fast able to make the save.
What an angle from Low Tech, and a great save from Too Fast to read that angle. But a dangerous, dangerous chance now for the Tigers. Here's T-Bates, 48 boosts to work with. Gets a flip and won't be able to get a second touch as D-Bank couldn't get by Low Tech. T-Bates, an errant touch back the other way.
Low Tech shooting like that, give him the ball. Because that was quality shot opportunity, and that's exactly what LSU need. That's going to be a big clear from T-Bates. Too Fast has to come up big here. Plays into the corner against Demo, and it's up to Lucia now. Braun B will put a shot on, but it's straight to D-Bank. And it'll be played off the sidewall, and it'll go all the way downfield here as North Texas try to turn it around on offense. Pass, shot, Braun B able to stop it at the goal line.
Braun B just stretching out, but it's not over. D-Bank, this is dangerous. Lucia's there, it's off the post. Too Fast, right side shots wide, and LSU just barely hanging on.
Pass, D-Bank to Too Fast off the wall. Lucia goes up, Low Tech denies. As a lot of offensive pressure comes out for North Texas, but they missed the mark, and that's going to be one to look at if they drop this game. Ball off the back ball, that was a shot, but Too Fast able to make the stop. Low Tech continues to put on quality opportunities, but the defense from North Texas is there, and the dangerous transition coming on as well. Ball will finally settle for a moment here at the midfield.
Oh, it is heating up on both sides of the field. Here's D-Bank now. Can he carry this one himself? Up and over T-Bates. He does get a piece of it. Here comes Too Fast. Top shelf shot. 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and it's Too Fast to put it away.
And boy, was he fast to this one. Immediately in the air. Shot just under the bar. You see how close Braun B was. It comes down to just pixels. But
Wow.
North Texas are going to put this series on match point. They do not fall. They get a goal in the last 16 seconds of the game, Corelli, and they turn that into an overtime victory.
And again, I think I said this in the last game, but it is worst case scenario once again for LSU and the Tigers here. They held on to that lead for so long, only to give it away in the last 16 seconds, then lose in overtime. Now you're on match point after a very close game. And UNT certainly came alive there, Daz. They were a little bit more quiet in regular time, but that overtime definitely showed what UNT have as their fullest potential, as they looked really good. The passing, the shooting, LSU just barely able to make some of these saves to stay alive. In the end, not enough, and UNT put them on match point.
Yeah, to me, that's the closest game of the series here. And, of course, it's because of their in overtime, but looking at those shots that were taken, not only from UNT, but from LSU as well, with the shots that we saw from Low Tech and Braun B, I mean, that was one of their best shots at, really setting up great opportunities on offense. And just, the level of quality, that angle from Low Tech was phenomenal. I know that's definitely got to hurt, though. And now they're on match point. They only have one win in the series. This should be where UNT closes things out, but who knows? You have the cat cornered here for the LSU Tigers, and we'll see what they can do.
I think for UNT, if they can match that pace that they had in the overtime here in regular time, in what could be the final game in Game 5, then this series is over. But it really is on UNT. Can they do that? T-Bates beats out D-Bank. See what LSU have in store for us on offense. Oh, that's not a good touch. He didn't get a touch. T-Bates has an open net, and the Mean Green, a defensive blunder to start things off.
Yep, early miss here. Too fast, didn't get the read off the corner, and you see the result. T-Bates gets an open look at the net and gets the first goal here for LSU. So the Tigers are gifted a goal, but we know it's tough to maintain a 1-goal lead here against North Texas. Plenty of game left. Infield pass, Too Fast with the carry, plays it high. D-Bank with the shot, and T-Bates remains calm to get the clear out. Bron B will put it home, and that's going to be a 2-goal lead for LSU early.
And I think LSU are going to find a lot of success with this counterattack. UNT sent the house on that one. No boost for Too Fast to get back. He had an opportunity to if he had boost. He probably could have gotten back, but the corner was gone, and he couldn't get a pad in time. And LSU up by 2.
This is similar to what we saw in Game 2 here of this series. That was the only goal LSU ended up scoring, was off the counterattack. And honestly, that's been where they've gotten most of their goals in this game. You talk about North Texas having a lot of offensive pressure, but that could also be a double-edged sword if they're not rotating properly. And LSU are trying to put that, and take that, use it for their advantage here, as they are on their last life, but right now they're up by 2, looking to make it 3 as a miss happens in front of the goal line, but they will be able to clear things away. T-Bates in the corner. Low tech, clear out. T-Bates will not be able to get there. That's a good cut from Too Fast. But Too Fast especially has been all over the rotation for LSU, just getting in the way. He's been able to set up so many chances for his team. Meanwhile, D-Bank has a shot, plays it high, It's off the bar. Will we get a follow? No! Too Fast missed the shot, and LSU will keep their 2-goal lead.
That bounce off the crossbar threw off Too Fast. He got the pass over to Lucia. Second chance, second opportunity. Put away by D-Bank. Look at the passing from the Mean Green.
Oh, man, you love to see this. Too Fast to Lucio, to D-Bank. The quality of this team, and you just have Bron B sitting in the net with his head on a swivel trying to figure out where the ball's going to go.
Take them to soccer practice right now. UNT got the drills down as they play through the LSU defense. Here's Too Fast once again, and Low Tech called upon on the goal line to make the save.
Good clear out from Low Tech. Bron B moving downfield. This could be a chance. We see T-Bates trying to keep this in play. Well, that's just how fragile even a 2-goal lead is early against North Texas. Shot, and whoo, T-Bates having to come straight off the rotation to make that save. UNT starting to kick things into high gear here with that offensive pressure. D-Bank with the shot, it will fall again. Just like that, we're back tied up.
And look at the bump from Lucia as well. Sets things up off the back wall, but then gets all of Low Tech out of the way. T-Bates can't get back across the net in time. Great setup from Lucia to put everything together for UNT and equalized once again.
Lucia to D-Bank. That's been the name of the game here for North Texas offense. 2 assists, 2 goals.
Oh, he's going to do it to him.
Lucia's going to do it by himself. Top left corner. And just like that, North Texas have taken the lead.
Uncontested off the back wall here. Just got a flick. Still no one challenging him. So he says, okay, I'll take it myself. Puts it top shelf. Just a little kiss off the crossbar there. And in. And the go-ahead goal for the Mean Green.
This is danger for LSU. Call the alarms. Press the button. Bron B getting a shot on. There's a little bit of miscommunication there. T-Bates tried to see if he could pick it up off the touch from Low Tech. But now things starting to settle as LSU look to fight back. There's still 2 minutes of gameplay left here, but they gave up 3 back-to-back goals here to North Texas unanswered.
Oh,
and they're
another
looking to do 4.
Oh!
Too Fast will get it. What a play from North Texas.
Great shot by Too Fast, but look at D-Bank here. Gets all of Bron B, T-Bates, and Low Tech again trying to make the save, but can't. And UNT putting the bumps together now. That's 2 in a row that the bump set something up for UNT and a 2-goal lead.
Oh my goodness. The margin keeps expanding. LSU started off with 2 goals. They haven't been able to score. Meanwhile, North Texas have put on 4. And they want to keep going. they are looking to close this series out. The Tigers are going to have to dig deep here in the final minute 30, as it is not looking good for them.
Everyone on low boost for LSU at the moment. Just a couple pads between them all, and that's why you're seeing no quick challenges from LSU to break out. They do actually get out, as I think UNT didn't play it properly, but still, LSU, they've got to go. Minute left now, or coming up on it. They've only been able to generate 4 shots so far in the game.
And those clears that you're seeing are going to make that journey a lot harder. The demo comes out, but they can't get control of this ball in the possession. Then time will continue to not be on their side. Good challenge. Lucia gets the shot, and that one's going to run away with it. That one might do it here, Corelli. That's going to be the 5th goal for UNT.
Great work by D-Bank once again, and that's a fortunate challenge to come straight out and bounce in front of Lucia, but that's what you get when you force the challenge like that. And D-Bank does a great job, and a good shot from Lucia, of course. A 3-goal margin, Daz, and like you said, it really feels like all but over at this point for the Tigers.
For me, it was one of those things that you kind of knew going into the game, though. You saw how the last game ended, and again, it felt like that was LSU's best shot. This one, though, they had 2 goals. They were 2 goals up. In all honesty, they had control there. But North Texas is a team that will not wait on you to figure out how to play them. They will just continue to increase the pace of play until the series is over. This series was strongly in favor of them, and they did not disappoint. LSU did put up a good fight, but at the end of the day, this North Texas team is making its way into the Western Conference Finals for the fall season. They take this series in 4.
And they looked good. They looked very good here in this series. They had maybe one poor game, but even then, it was, I would say, even half of that game was poor from UNT in that first game right off the bat. But UNT, they look strong. And, this is why they're here. This is why they're one of the best in the West. And you're seeing it. They move on to the grand finals, where I believe, if we get a little update, okay, so it looks like Missouri and UT Dallas. UT Dallas did beat Arizona in 7 games, and Missouri is up 1-0 against UT Dallas at the moment. And they'll play, the winner of that will play Oregon, who will then play North Texas in the grand finals.
Man, so still more games to go. Still a lot developing. This fall season has been very interesting, to say the least. And it's making its way, at least the playoffs for each region is making its way to a close here. But it's not done just yet. We still have more matches on the docket. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.